thinking led to this? It's Liamo All-Star here. Welcome to this version of Reality, a brand new podcast, or at least this recording. It's brand new. You may be listening to it later down the track, whenever and however you're listening to it. I don't know. Where the hell are you? What are you doing? Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're driving. Maybe you're just listening to this because you need to hear it to believe it. A guy who doesn't say anything is now spending his time talking on a podcast. I mean, what the hell's going on? You had to actually go on, download it, and think, what the hell? It's really him. It's really Liam All-Star. It's really Liam Daly. Whatever you want to call me, however you know me. Yes, it is me. And I guess introductions and explanations are definitely in order. And I guess first and foremost, what the hell am I doing recording a podcast series? Why am I recording a podcast? It's simple. Because I can. And with that, that's the end of the podcast. No. If only that was. No. But it's about doing it because I can. Because it's something that's been something that I wanted to do for a while. Because I got a lot of stories to tell. I got a lot of things to say. Surprisingly, the person who is known for not saying much, but when I do, it's straight to the point. Which is ironic there, because originally I was going to call this podcast The Point, but then typing into search engines, and about 500 million people have called their podcasts different variations of The Point, like To The Point with this person, Get to the Point, and it's like, no, I want it to be original. And just got to thinking to myself, well, you know, if we were to do things in this version of reality, and it just hit me like that, it's like, you know, in this version of reality, common sense and logic should prevail. In this version of reality, things should be much different. In this version of reality, we discuss things that perhaps need to be discussed, things that maybe are interesting, things that are current, things that, you know, just on my mind and that I want to get off my chest. It may be personal discussions, stories of the past, of my past, or it may just be discussions of what's happening around, but ultimately I want it to be something that people will ultimately choose to download under their own free will, without any manipulation, without just because you know me, but then, well, then hopefully you'll download it on a regular basis because you enjoy the podcast, you actually want to listen to it, and not just because I'm on it. And then you'll share it with a friend, and then they'll share it, and they'll share it. So this one's really about introducing or reintroduction to all the people who are perhaps on my social media feed and otherwise, and they're hearing my voice for the first time in a long time, or the first time in a few minutes. I don't know, but that's completely irrelevant. But anyway, why am I doing this? They still say, well, just because I can, not good enough, need a proper explanation, you know, you've got the reason down. Well, there are a lot of people who do podcasts, and it's a way to get some form of exposure, to get your voice out there, to get yourself out there, and obviously, you know, because I call myself the All-Star, and the reason behind that, there's an actual reason. I've said it before, I'll say it again. For those who don't know why I call myself the All-Star, it's not some self-indulged, egotistical, maniacal, you know, like I'm the emperor, or, you know, the king of the world sort of thing. No. It's a moniker that perhaps I picked up subliminally through years of playing Super Mario All-Stars, but ultimately because it's just a cool name, and originally I was playing a wrestling game and I figured to myself, I had to come up with create a wrestler, and I figured create one after me. I was probably 13 at the time, and ultimately I decided to go with Liamo, which is my nickname, and then All-Star because, well, it just sounded cool in my head. And if I was ever a wrestler, that would be my ring name. And created a wrestler named Liamo All-Star, which was loosely based on me. I mean, I like to think I've got more pixels in this version of reality. Hey, there, I just dropped the name of the show again. See how it works? In that version of reality, I was a pixelated wrestler in an old game, WWF Attitude. A good game for Nintendo 64. But then I got thinking to myself, why should I only be limited to a game? Why can't that be me? Why can't that be who I am? You're thinking, well, what, a wrestler? It's like, no! The All-Star. I want to be the All-Star. I want to be, because I guess personally it's always been a goal of mine to be not specifically better than any one individual, unless there is a feud or rivalry, so you've given me some reason, or you just happen to be in that position at the time where beating you means succeeding and getting first place, but ultimately my goal has always been simply to just be better than I am right now, to be the best that I can be. And that's where it just fits in naturally, to be the star of it all, to be the all-star that I set myself out to be the best that I can be. And through the years, through success and failures, I believe that I've done that as much as I possibly can, to whatever level you can say. I've been the best that I can be, and I always aspire to be the best, to be better than myself. And if it just so happens that I am better than another person, that, maybe it's just a case of happenstance. But ultimately, through the years, probably thinking, what have you been up to all these years? Well, obviously, how far can we go back? I mean, over time in these podcasts, I may go into details, but I guess the most relevant would be to discuss more the here and now and what's happened. I mean, through career as a martial artist, as a middle distance athlete, and ultimately trying to work my way through and figure out, a career to be on the side to cover the finances. So finding a career in fitness, and like most people in the fitness industry, then having a successful career in something else. And yes, that's right, personal trainers come and go very often. I didn't come and go like a lot of other personal trainers. I did have my success in the fitness industry. Still am a personal trainer by trade, registered and everything, or fitness specialist, which is a level slightly higher. I have a diploma. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But that sort of fills that void. And also in between as well, getting into acting, and eventually, right now at this point in time, also venturing into comedy, specifically stand-up comedy, and trying my hand at that, and getting a good response from many of the shows that I've been to. I've been touring around on the open mic circuit as of this recording, and it's been good. I've had quite a bit of praise from, I guess you could say now, the peers and fellow comedians, and also the people who are emceeing, and the people who are running the sounds are saying, you're doing a good job. Well, how long have you been doing it? It's like, well, I mean, I've been, I guess, without trying, been making people laugh my whole life without trying, been doing it for free. And in this economy, I guess, you can't afford to do anything for free anymore, so it just made sense, I guess. But yeah, not long, and they're surprised. It's like, you know, you're really coming along, you're doing good. That's not me being egotistical, by the way. That's just literal praise from peers. If you want to say, oh, look at he's propping himself up as all these things, he reckons that he's the, you know, he's the bee's knees, he's just, you know, the best at everything, you know. It's like, never said that. Not for 1 second. And I'll admit that right now, at this point in time, and especially in this recording right now, way down the bottom of the ring, of the ladder ring, down the ranks, but that's where I guess the goal is ultimately, to work my way up, you know. In everything that I do at the time, I guess my focus specifically right now is on the acting and comedy, because, you know, to get my name out there and to be more than I am right now, to be the best that I can be. And it's a good goal, especially when you have the opportunities presented to yourself. But specifically as well, once again, because I can, and because it's something that I want to do, it's something that I feel that I need to do to prove something to myself, which is something that I've always done in my life, which was simply to prove that I can, because I've always had people along the way, for various different reasons, tell me that someone like me can't do it, and you should quit. And then when I begin to try and succeed, there's some people even along the way literally try and sabotage my efforts, which makes it a fun story to tell. Oh, but at the moment we want to keep things rolling along, so that's enough about me. But there'll be more podcasts. There may be ones that I do on solo, like this one, solo podcasts, but there are other ones that I recorded, the ones that will be coming after this one, which have already been recorded. This may be number one in the playlist, but it is not the first one recorded. We took a trip to America with my best mate Alan, Saver, whatever he wants to call himself on the podcast. I believe Alan is fine, as he said, but make sure it's Alan with an L and an A. You know, one L, one A, not two L's, not an E, not a U, and certainly not any other vowel for that matter. And it's not Adam Lambert. He's not a famous singer. No, but he is very good at what he does as well. But we'll get more into that in the later podcasts. But yeah, we took a trip to America. We, the whole thing was my idea to begin with. And after that, it sort of just grew. And we'll post that up preceding this one. It's a 3-parter. And it's there for the people who wanted to know, who wanted to hear about the trip. Now everyone can download it and listen to it, so I don't have to explain the damn thing 100 million times over. Cheap method, I know, but it's a good way to do it, I guess. And another reason why you should have a podcast, because, hey, it's a time saver. Tell me the story about the time you went down the road and you were hassled by a bunch of portly gentlemen. Well, for me to tell you that story, it would take at least 30 minutes of my time. Or you could just download it, this version of reality, that episode with the title, The Time I Dealt with the Portly Gentleman Down the Road. I don't think I've ever had to deal with portly gentlemen down the road, but I've certainly had a few run-ins with a lot of interesting people over time, and I'm definitely going to be telling some stories. Change a few names, not so much to protect their identity or to protect myself, but simply because they don't deserve the notoriety and fame that would be given with regards to the name dropping in the podcast. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess you could say. But yeah, we went to America. I've done some recordings as well with regards to the trip. They will be up on my YouTube channel, which you obviously found if you were able to find this, or perhaps you just downloaded this on the feed. But I do also have a YouTube channel. Hopefully as of this video it's all up and running. But hey, once again, it is what it is. I should really stop saying that because, went to see Seinfeld America. That's pretty much the whole reason why we went to America. And one of his bits was that the saying, "It is what it is." What the hell does that even mean? I don't know. And I said it I just sort of picked it up, and it seems to, fill the void, but maybe I should just stop saying it because it really doesn't mean anything at all. So I do have a YouTube channel, and I intend on using that YouTube channel to post up a lot of media content and get that going as well. Will it help with the comedy and the acting? Well, maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it's just a lot of fun to do the videos and post them up and tirelessly edit them and make sure that you've got your computer running at the time. If we are listening to this, then the computer that I'm recording on, which is my computer, is up and running 100%. When we recorded for the America Chronicles, the podcasts that are going to precede this one, the computer was actually not working. So it's a bit of a interesting underlap, fabric of time has just been torn open and nothing is quite as it seems. But that's going to happen from time to time. There may be some bank shows that come in where I will be busy, or maybe I'll be able to have a guest on. Maybe I'll have a special guest. Maybe I'll have a celebrity on. Maybe I'll be a celebrity eventually by the time these are all 50, 100, 1,000 episodes in. There are a lot of other good podcasts out there that I do listen to on a daily basis. Get it? Because my last name's Daily. Whatever. But yeah, what I'm doing right now is working on, with the YouTube channel, there are a lot of things that I have in mind, a lot of video series that I do intend on putting up. Some will be video game based, simply because, well, fill content and because it's just fun stuff to see the reactions of people playing video games. And I figured, well, jump on the bandwagon. Maybe it'll pick up, maybe it won't. I won't be doing nearly as much as the YouTube gamers, but, just to throw some things in there. The Never-Ending Mario Run is one series which I had in mind, which is essentially to play through as many Super Mario Maker levels as I possibly can. I may have some rules in there at the time, which I guess maybe make the video a certain length, and I've only got a certain length of time to finish the run through that level. If I can't make it through, then I guess it just makes it more of a challenge for me, and also more entertaining for the person who watches it, instead of just watching a person play through a level infinitely until they succeed. No, you've only got a certain time period. That sounds like more fun. And then, of course, the stand-up comedy highlights, which I record my stand-up gigs for my own personal viewing, and to see just, what worked, what didn't work, how was I on stage, because I've been told, I've got a good presence on the stage, but I've been told, a couple of things, maybe need to fix this, that, try not to pace up and back on the stage, keep your level in check, and, what jokes got laughs from the audience, what jokes kind of fell a bit flat, what was funny to you and the audience that night, and then another venue, another place, it might not be as funny. What's timeless, what isn't, what is appropriate, what isn't, and just basically post some highlights. Not going to give away entire routines, because that would just be deadly to a potential future career in stand-up, because then if I were to ever in the future have some sort of stand-up comedy gig, a paid gig where people would actually come and pay to see me, or some sort of comedy special or something like that, like how they have the recorded specials, an hour gig or something, I'd be giving all my routines away on YouTube for free. And, well, if I go by my own set of logic there, I'd even say to myself, well, why the hell would I want to go and see you at a venue so far away, go to all that effort to drive out and to see you and pay to see you and have to put up with a bunch of other people in the same venue and then have to get out of there and try and find the car and find that you've probably been, given a fine for parking in an area where you shouldn't have, or had to pay for parking and all that annoying stuff that just goes with the experience that is otherwise a great show and entertaining. But if it's already there on YouTube, what's the point? And I had to keep that in mind and say, well, there will be small clips, because there are on-the-fly improvised jokes that I do have from time to time, and maybe some routines I may throw in there, ones that I don't intend on carrying forward, maybe routines that were good but not great, so they'll fall out of circulation. Maybe I'll retire them gracefully and put them on YouTube. Who knows? I guess you'll just have to subscribe to the channel to find out that information. Also, with regards to the comedy side of things, I do have the series which I have actually had in mind for a very long time. Don't know how many times I'll post content up for that, but going to try and do semi-regular short clips, comedy, like sketches. The show called Fiction, just nonsensical crap, maybe funny to some, maybe funny to no one, maybe just funny to me. There are definitely a few sketches that I've written down that are just, or even reenactments of things that have happened in a certain day, or, hypothetical scenarios that play out to what to do in a certain situation. I did do one time which was titled How to Deal with Window Washers, and there were 5 different ways to deal with various window washers. Window washers who come up to your car and wash your windows when you didn't ask them to, and then they expect you to pay. It's actually it was there. I recorded it years ago. I think it was back in 2013 for a point. What was the point of doing that? I believe it was for some audition for a sketch series, which I don't think actually got picked up, or maybe it did, and I don't know. I put it up on YouTube as per request, and 2 different sketches that I did. I'm trying to find, there it is. Clicking on the link with my handy computer right now. How to deal with window washers, which is quite hilarious if you ever do get a chance to come on the channel. So say, run the red light, and it shows the window washer getting run over in a very poorly edited sketch, and then politely decline where Alan gets the mock, but because Alan was also in that sketch, he gets to pretend to hit me in the face, and I did a snapback, and he was almost thought that he actually hit me. I said, no, I'm all good. It's like, oh, you're sort of disappointed, but yeah. And then turn the washer sprays around. We had to hook up a hose to make this work. A hose up to a part of the vehicle that we were using to make this sketch work, and over exaggerated, and a couple of shots I believe were taken, or maybe we did it in one, where the hose was up on an angle and that it would show me washing and wiping the windows, and then to get rid of the window washer, and it was like a proper hose, like a garden hose, and then it was just turned on full ball right into my freaking face. Maybe it's not as funny as it should be, I don't know. Maybe, just go in there, watch it. And I believe the last one was wash the washer, where Alan got to promptly come out of the vehicle, slam me on the hood of the car, and then use the squeegee to wash me, where then at the end of it, well, I'll just let you leave that to your imagination of what he did with the squeegee then. And the handle, yes, and that was probably the best edited part of the whole thing. You know, things like that. And I got a whole lot of different sketches written down in mind that I will record from time to time. You know, you could call it content filler, call it whatever you want, but still, it was fun to do that, and it'll be good to do some of those again and post them on. And, you know, I mentioned the comedy, I mentioned a few other things. There are other things that I do have in mind. Obviously, the podcast will be posted on here, and look to also post it in the feed. Obviously, you already know because you have downloaded it and you're listening to it right now. I did record some commentaries on the drive home in something that I called On the Drive Home. Some of them sounded a bit weird. I mean, I don't know what kind of direction I want to take with that. Whether I'll leave them as audio or get a dash cam and sort of just have that as the in-drive experience, or have it facing me while I'm talking. Maybe it'll chronicle certain driving habits that people do, like, say, for example, almost running you off the road and killing you, that sort of thing. You know, maybe, you know, because I got a backlog of recordings that I'll post them out regardless, but I'm planning to sort of evolve that into something better. And, you know, put it out there, do something better with it, or keep the same. I guess it depends on the feedback of it all. I do have some other game ideas out, and super, ultra, mega long Mario Kart, where I do plan on doing a few series with that, with a couple of different people, perhaps, you know, recording gameplay, and then just, you know, different challenges. Same with the Tekken challenge, or whatever I decide to call it as it's posted. You know, where I go through various different challenges of multiplayer and basically playing through, and good fun, and perhaps ideas for other people playing the game to try for themselves. Copyright my ideas, patent pending. No, but it's also things that were done years ago, like with regards to Tekken. There are a couple of different things you used to do. One such thing that me and Alan did a couple of times. I first did it with another friend of mine, Chris, who sort of disappeared off the face of the earth, but whatever. Hey, Chris. Oh, he knows what there's so many people named Chris that I know, but maybe he knows, maybe he's listening, I don't know. But the concept was best of 500 battles, or best of 500 rounds, whatever you want to call it. Either way, 500 matches to determine just simply not who was better, not who was worse, but just an endurance. Originally, I intended to try and get through 1,000, but it was like about 6, 7, 8 hours of gameplay. There were a couple of breaks in between, but it's fun at first, but then by the end of it, I just kind of wanted it to end. I won the first ever 500 battles challenge, and I've won a couple of them between me and my mates, and I've lost a couple as well. But maybe that'll be some more content to fill, because to see someone just actually play through, and I guess with that, record it over a series of time and maybe have a whole length of video for anyone who actually wants to sit through, although probably wouldn't be able to post that length of a video onto YouTube, so full length video may very well be out, because it probably goes 6 hours, 7 hours, however long it takes to go through 500 matches essentially in Tekken. But, you know, something that's just to do and to fill the voids. I did have some other ideas in mind. Happy Wheels, I was interested in playing through some of the levels of that. I've seen a couple of game players play some, you know, and do some highlights of Happy Wheels on occasion. I know Markiplier, who is a YouTuber, very popular YouTuber and YouTube game reactor, who has done it on occasion, and you know, that's probably one of the areas where I discovered that game in particular. And you know, just sort of figured maybe, like Super Mario Maker, play through levels and just show, you know, reaction or lack of reaction, whatever it happens to be, and the hilarity of it all. Because if you've ever played Happy Wheels, it's an interesting game. Go check it out. Seriously, go check it out. Go play it. Not right now. Keep listening to me. It's been almost half an hour of talking. You're looking at it right now, aren't you? Yeah. You could pause this at any time and continue listening. Or you could play the game and listen to me at the same time. That way, you'll be multitasking. Yeah, that's right. Multitasking. Who the hell am I even talking to right now? Nobody. Maybe you. Maybe nobody. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. I practically am talking to myself right now. I'm literally going insane, perhaps. Yes. But anyway, speaking of commentary, an idea that I did have and that I was going to post out, and I've done a couple of trial ones of custom commentary. A concept where you watch a movie and you essentially are talking through the movie, you know, from a comedic perspective, offering commentary on the movie. You know, like the commentaries that they do, but not like the commentaries. You know how on the extras on DVDs, Blu-ray, they've got the director's commentary, you know, the actors who might, you know, have their commentary, and you can play it while you're watching the movie. It's got that setting in there where, you know, it's like, oh, this is the scene where we did this. It took 5 days to do, and the director was a complete asshole, and we basically got into screaming matches all day, every day. But hey, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to get paid $10 million a day. Yeah, that's pretty much how it happens. No, not really. Maybe sometimes. I have worked on set of quite a few movies, TV shows, and otherwise. I don't think I've seen any screaming matches between actors and directors yet, but it is yet to happen. It is yet to come. I've seen somewhat of a screaming match between a extra and a assistant director, if that does count. Maybe it does. I've seen a lot of things on set. I'm going to keep that for another podcast. I'm not giving that away. Those set secrets right there. What, do you want me to be blacklisted from the industry? Well, obviously I wouldn't be giving away major details or names or anything, but just general experiences that do occur from time to time. Oh, I gotta pause this for 2 seconds. I'm getting a phone call. Oh, the wonders of being your own editor, recorder, everything. Having your own expensive microphone. Yeah, $200 microphone. It's a USB microphone hooked straight up to the computer, but it is studio quality kind of microphone. Yeah, I just had a phone call from my mother, who, as of this video, just had surgery, and yeah, she's doing well. That is all. What the hell was I just talking about? Damn it. I'm distracted now. See, this is where, you know, maybe I should have just kept recording and just had the whole thing. Or maybe I should just ignore the whole phone conversation. Just say, no, can't talk right now. It's like, yeah, sir, just to call up, say surgery went well. Can't talk right now. Doing a podcast, you are so selfish. If I did that, then this microphone would be permanently shoved so far up that, well, I'd still be able to use the microphone because it'd be lodged down my throat. Yeah. I was talking about custom commentary, I believe. The movie commentary. Yes. I believe I was talking about that. Well, the idea essentially was just to offer my own live commentary, record it, post it on YouTube as a video series. I would obviously, for copyright purposes, so I don't get my YouTube channel deleted and don't get sued and don't get blacklisted from the industry, say, actually having the audio in the background very audible enough that, you know, it would breach a copyright. And obviously I wouldn't be posting the whole video up on a separate, you know, box for viewing pleasure, because that would just be suicide right there for every single career that I would ever have, because they can be quite vicious with regards to them copyrights. I mean, there's really not much that can be done, but then there's a lot that they will do, and a lot of money that I don't have would be taken from me in a lawsuit where they have an endless supply, an endless bank account. Yeah, no, I'm just prattling along now, but we all know what it's like. The days of old, downloading R.I.P. Kazaa and LimeWire and BitTorrent and Pirate Bay's still out there, I believe. Sailing the seas, jumping from server to server, and still legal in some places. It's not legal here. Not one bit. Not at all. But it's been blocked from Australia. That's which we are from. And blocked in other countries as well. But not certain other countries. You know, it's just paddling along. But yeah, because I don't want to get into that fight of the copyright issue, and it's not my fight, and so obviously I wouldn't be posting up, and not unless I had permission and did a truncated highlight version of the custom commentary where I did get permission or found a provisional grounds where certain highlights of the movie where the best commentary clips could also be featured, which I might do anyway, and actually look into if I can do that, because CinemaSins goes through entire movies and rates the errors of, you know, the mistakes of all the movies, and they seem to get away with posting all the movie content in there. There's obviously that, you know, maybe they have a deal, maybe it's simply because they've got a certain provision of copyright where they have effectively found the right loophole, you know, under the fan, you know, the, what the hell is it called again? Free use, you know, or, you know, because there are some grounds where, you know, for use of commentaries, review, parody, but there are limits to that, obviously, and I guess the limit is determined by law, and that's something that's obviously don't want to put my foot too far into, but definitely something that is coming out there. But that's a lot of the stuff. There will be other stuff as well. Did I mention the no reaction challenge? I don't know if I did. If I did, then I guess in post edit I'll delete that out, delete this out. I don't think I did. If you're still listening to this, I probably didn't. The no reaction challenge. This is where it's sort of an ironic turn of YouTube content, which I have recorded a couple of videos already, where how they have videos on YouTube where people try not to laugh, try not to smile, try not to cry, try not to sing, try not to get angry, try, you know, basically all these people with all these different reaction videos, no facial reactions, nothing with the series that I have. The point of mine is, ironically, as a reaction video series, to have no reaction. That is, no change in facial, no change in emotional, no change in anything. No reaction at all. Just to sit there stoically and watch the damn video without doing anything. Unless it perhaps is legitimately funny enough to make me laugh, or otherwise if something happens in that video and causes a spontaneous reaction which is involuntary and just comes out, but they would have to be very good. You know, not some of those cat videos or little kid videos or any of those videos where it's like, oh, look at him, he's so cute. Definitely none of those damn videos where people throw where animals do disgusting things. But then that's the other thing, no gross out as well. I don't think that at any point in time that I will get into a certain category of videos, because one, I will always lose, and two, because just no, not a chance that I would even watch it for the, wouldn't watch it for the sake of reacting, because there have been some vile versions of reaction videos on the internet, and I guess the most prominent, famous example is 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Never seen it, but I've read the synopsis, and I will never watch it. I will never watch anyone watching it, and I will never provide a reaction video to that, because that is just vile and disgusting. Sorry, it might be popular to some people, maybe that's your thing, but just not gonna happen at all. Don't even try to ask me, and if you want to count that as me losing the challenge and reacting to it, then okay, you get that one. Just simply by default. And so does every other video along those lines like that. Nothing where, you see someone getting shot to death or something which just steps over a line that no one really ever should, and things that people don't need to see and don't need to react to, because, to try not to react in certain situations, it's like, well, then that just makes you inhuman. But then maybe that's part of the challenge as well, with certain videos where a lot of our people might find certain content funny or otherwise, and it's like, nah. But that's also the point as well. But nonetheless, I guess that pretty much covers all the YouTube content. But there are a couple other concepts to make as well. Perhaps post some self-defense videos as well, and branch a little further back into martial arts, something that I've done my entire life, that's been a family lineage, something that's we've all, that my family, or my immediate family, has been a part of for many, many years. Many stories to tell. People that I am closest to, I am close to because I met them through martial arts, and some of the best friends that I've ever had, and the best people that I've ever met, I met them through, doing martial arts. And also some really weird, seedy, interesting characters, and learned a lot about myself, a lot about what I'm truly capable of, a lot of what other people are truly capable of, and a lot of what other people will do, either simply to be right in a situation or simply to get what they want out of a situation at whatever cost. It's going to provide a lot of stories as well for this podcast series, because I do have a lot of tales, a lot of stories in my life that I guess we'll hear from time to time on the podcast. But ultimately, the direction that I hope to take this in is something that people will truly enjoy and continue to listen to. Maybe it'll help you along the way, to help you along the way. See, that's how lazy I am. Post edits, I'm not going to change any of this damn content, keeping it as is on the fly, just recording it, because it's too late to go back now. Just like it's too late to stop this video now, to stop this audio. It's perhaps going to help a lot of people out. Maybe it'll help no one out. Maybe it'll help someone out. It'll brighten your day. It'll educate you. It'll entertain you. Maybe it'll just frustrate you because I'm doing this and you're not. But hey, just maybe from time to time as well, I got a Twitter account that I never use. I don't even really remember why I signed up for a Twitter account. All I know is that I got a Twitter account. And perhaps I'll use that for the purpose of Q&As from time to time, so we keep it simple. I have an email address which people can perhaps post, they want to ask me questions, or, just generally want to hit me up, then send an email to me, which I guess I'll provide when the time is right. Obviously, right now, no real points, but I do have a Twitter feed, I do have an email, everyone does. I do have a Facebook. If you do have a Facebook, which means, in other words, if you are a living human being, or not living for that matter, because living and dead, everyone has Facebook. Everything has Facebook now. You can't not have Facebook. I don't understand. I really don't get what the hell this whole thing about Facebook, other than the social media. But the thing regarding, it's like the status of friendship used to be, you're an associate, you know them, but you don't really have much to do with them, but, you're still perhaps friends to agree, your level of associate friends, and you got, your friends, your inner circle, best friends, loved ones, married to, and above all that now seems to be Facebook friends. Like, people use Facebook to break the news to other people that they're breaking up with them by listing themselves no longer in a relationship and single on Facebook. People will remove other people from their friends list on Facebook to say, well, I'm not friends with you anymore. I have nothing to do with you anymore. And then in this version of reality, see, there we go again. In this version of reality, I consider Facebook nothing more than a contact list. A social media contact list. And that is something that it should be regarded as. It's not a friends list. You're not friends with your family, They're your loved ones. People will argue that point and say, oh, I'm friends with... It's like, no. There's different levels of relationship, different kinds of relationship that are incompatible with the other, that are different. But that's okay. Because that different status, a different kind of relationship is how you function day to day. You start mixing things up, things get weird, things get odd. It's like, for example, the best example that anyone could ever come up with is friends with benefits. You mix two things together. Or friend, suddenly, you start dating your friend, you start, having a relationship, a romantic relationship. Sometimes it works, but then, it changes a friendship because you're no longer friends. He's my best friend and my lover. It's like, I don't think that's really how it works. I've never slept with any of my friends. That I will admit. Oh. Stepping into it. I'm going to step out of it right now and just simply say, if Facebook is really to be regarded as that big of a deal that people, you're friends with Facebook people, they're just contacts. You're just linked on a contact with Facebook. If you remove someone as a friend on Facebook, it doesn't mean you're not friends with them anymore. If you're not friends with your family on Facebook, it doesn't mean that you don't like them. Or maybe it does. Who knows? Every situation is different. But simply put, it's just, I don't regard that as anything to take too seriously. Like, there are people that aren't on my Facebook friends list, but then at the same time, it is that kind of attitude where it's like, well, if you don't want me on your Facebook, well, then you don't get me in reality either. You don't get me in real life. I was like, get over yourself. You got a phone number, you got an email, you've got an address. Maybe you talk to them face to face in person. What's the difference? Do we need to be connected on every single level? It doesn't always work with people. Some people just can't handle other people being around them in every way, shape or form. And sometimes some of the things that people post on Facebook, you kind of wonder why they have certain other people on their Facebook feed, and then they get all angry why then certain people might delete them from Facebook, because maybe your bratty little kid is pissing me off, and your attitude regarding your kid, oh, she smashed a plate, she's running around, and she's such a brat, but she's so cute every time I look at her, and she punches me in the groin. I can't just help but love her. It's like, yeah, you're going to pay for all the things you broke? Oh, no, 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 no. I can't. My child did it, and you can't do that to my child. She's just a child. We all know that one freaking parent. And the one that posts their political views on the Facebook feed, where it's like, oh, yeah, you know, all them gays are gonna go to hell. You people are going to hell. This person's going to hell. Everyone's going to hell. Alright. Well, I'll save you a seat then. Because a lot of the stuff then, the opinions and the things that those same people laugh at, the conservative types, some of those damn people are freaking hypocrites. And then they post crap up on their Facebook feed. And it's like, okay, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. See, now we're actually getting into a bit of a discussion at the end of the podcast, and this is what it's all about, right? But they post stuff up, and, oh, well, okay, your Facebook feed, then you post something up on yours, and then they just have a vile or contrary comment to put in there, and it's like, this is, what the hell are you doing? Like, you wouldn't say any of those things in real life, in actual reality, but you say it in Facebook reality, in that version of reality. You say all these things, whereas if you said them in real life, you would either get arrested, or punched in the freaking face, or kicked below the belt and freaking spat on, you know, for a lot of the vile comments and a lot of the things that you like. That's another thing, like. I like that. It's like, wait, you like that my family member just passed away? And, you know, it's like, it's like. I guess I can't say it any better. It's like. It's weird. And also the reactions, everything that they have, you know, the certain smiley face, the frowny face, you know. I could go on and on about Facebook, and maybe I'll just save that for a proper discussion another time, but yeah. But yes, I do have a Facebook, and I've enabled followers for people who I don't know, or people who just want to follow my statuses, see what I'm up to, where I'm going, what I'm doing, if and when I post things on Facebook. It's like, for example, if I'm performing a gig somewhere, if there's something that's happening, if I've posted another video here, if there's just generally something that I like, or something that I'm sharing that I feel may be important, or maybe just something that'll entertain people in their day. Like, you know, there's funny videos that come through, funny memes. Memes are a big thing. They've taken over. Memes. I think they just call them memes because it's funny to say memes. But yeah, I'm pretty much running out of things to say right now in this line of introduction, but all I can say is thank you to everyone who's actually listening. If you could share this and subscribe, that'd be great, because then the more people that are listening, the more people that are subscribed, then it gives me more of a reason to keep posting. And, well, I guess if you don't, well, I'll just post it anyway, because I can, because I feel like it, because it's what I want to do. And, oh, who's going to stop me? You? You can't stop me. You don't even know where I'm recording from. Well, you can hit stop. That's about all you can do. But yeah, this one is probably more or less for the people that I know, like I said before. But feel free to share it with your friends and loved ones and everyone else. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Feel free to continue downloading. The next couple of weeks will be the video series posted, as well as the YouTube, not the YouTube, as podcasts with regards to the America trip. It might seem like it draws out a bit because we did a lot while we were in America. We were there 10 days tour. We were there for 10 days, 2 weekends and a week. And we did a lot. And there's a lot to discuss. There's a lot that we do end up talking about. And there'll be after that, that one will be out the way. We'll get into talking about different topics at the time, different things that are occurring. There's a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things that are going on in the world right now. Maybe I'll offer my insight and opinion with regards to certain things that are going on, and offer some insights about how things should go in this version of reality. In this version of reality, there. Just drop the name one final time, but yes. Maybe I'll drop it one more time. So, thank you very much for listening to this version of reality, in this version of reality. My name is Liam, and I will see you guys next time.